Hi, and thank you for having us. So the funny thing about these conferences like this is that if there is a talk on standardization, you can bet your life on it that it's at the dead end of the conference. So after a full day of exciting talks, there's a talk about standardization that's coming dead last. But I just want to give you a quick overview of what standardization is all about, what our role is, and what we've been doing in AI. And I'm going to share this spot with my friend Stefan, there he is, from NeuroCat. He's the founder of NeuroCat, and the two of us put together a consortium earlier last year, May 2018. We put together a consortium that developed a internationally first technical standard on AI quality. So between you and your beer, there are only like 82 slides of stuff. I'm just kidding. German humor. So, Dean at a glance. Just to give you a quick idea, all we really do is we put people together that have a common interest in a certain topic. And the topics vary from lighting technology, construction, flooring, anything you can think of, and anything that needs a technical standard, we will take care of that. There are a couple numbers. These topics are divided into 70 categories, and anything that doesn't quite match or fit into these categories ends up in my department. And AI was one of which is how Stefan and I got together and put together this consortium. Just to give you a quick idea of what are standard developing organizations, or SDOs, basically every developed country in the world has something like DIN. The US is a bit of an outlier. They have about 200. But Canada also has one, Germany has one, etc. And the idea is that for every topic or for every technical issue to solve, there's one technical standard and one organization that is publishing or developing and publishing it. There are two larger organizations that I want to briefly talk about. One is called CEN. It's the European Committee for Standardization. It's got 34 member countries. But the work is organized in a way that there are roughly 300 technical committees, and the technical committees basically, they're like drawers with a label on it, and then within the drawers you have about 1,500 working groups, or 10 working groups per drawer, and they do the actual technical work and the actual standardization work. And there's a total of roughly 1,500 documents. That sounds like an awful lot, but if you think about all the stuff that we see and do every day, it's not really all that much. Slightly larger is ISO, and a little older. It's got 163 member countries right now. But the work is divided in basically the same way. So you have roughly 230 committees, and within those committees you have working groups, and the working groups then take care of the actual documents. The interesting difference between those two, between the European body and the international body, is that for every European member country, those 1,500 or 15,000 standards become mandatory. So if a national body has a standard on, I don't know, fire safety of, I don't know, wooden panels, and if there is then a European standard developed touching on the same topic, the national standard has to be removed. And this is the biggest difference basically between those two, because international standards are not mandatory, and every country can then decide whether or not it wants to adopt those international standards. This is an awful slide, and I apologize for it, but it's just here to give you an overview of how these drawers or individual topics can be divided. And this is, in particular, the Committee on Artificial Intelligence, which was founded in May 2018. It is headed by the US, I believe. Interestingly, the proposal for founding the committee was launched by, or submitted by, China. And without getting too much into this, I just wanted to show you that there is international work that is being done, but they have not yet released a single technical standard on AI. This looks terrible, but anyway, so the two basic things that we do at Dean is we organize the consensus-based standardization that is happening at CEN and at ISO. And then we have something called consortium standards, and consortium standards are basically individual consortia that are independent of the CEN and the ISO work, and they usually consist of research organizations, but also larger corporations, startups, and associations, and what have you. And and they get together only a couple of times for about 6 or 7 months to develop a first standard on a topic that is not yet in the ISO community. And this is what we did with AI, and that is what we did with NeuroCat and a couple of other companies. We first organized a workshop at Dean that was about a year ago, I think. And so it was like a full day of just talking about AI, the challenges, opportunities, risks, and all that stuff. And then we came up with kind of a priority list of what should be tackled by standardization. And the first thing that we then tackled was quality requirements for AI modules. And these are the companies here that are part of the consortium. We literally just released this document. It's available as a free PDF download. Maybe not today, but maybe in 2 weeks. I shouldn't get ahead of myself here. To give you the details on, like the technical details on the work that was being done and maybe NeuroCat's role in this, I would like to introduce Stefan, and then he can tell you, about all the work that was done. So Stefan, please.
Hello. First of all, we just merged the slides, and now you will see these results. Sometimes looks a little bit terrible, but however, I hopefully can catch you with the content. However, NeuroCat is a leading startup for AI quality, and in our first year we made a revenue about 180,000, and this year we expect something between 5 and 10 million, with no money because we are in Germany. So the fundraising is very tough here in Germany, so we need to grow organic. However, so yeah, with the big classes, it's me. They're in a balloon that was our small seed investors, and every fancy startup in the AI branch has nerds, and you will see these nerds there on the left side. Mr. Felix Ancion on the books, he's the research leader, and Florenz Gressner, he's doing all the great analysis and stuff. Yeah, what is the challenge? Anybody here in the room who's seeing security issues with AI? Oh, great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I give you some examples. So everybody know Alexa. It was ordering automatically, but the funny story on it is as it came in the radio, then it was starting to ordering again. Or another story from Microsoft. They developed 2 chatbots, and in the end of the day, one of the chatbots told Adolf Hitler was right, so he became a racist, so they need to switch it off. So Facebook, for example, developed 2 agents again, but the problem on this case was they developed his own language. Nobody understood what they talking about it, so they need to switch it off. And yeah, for example, Google, they tried to build 2 agents again to solve one problem. After the problem was solved, they start to fight each other. I think it's a security safety issue as well. And yeah, and this story is not so funny with Tesla. We lost a human from this world because the AI wasn't robust. However, all the AI algorithm has all the problems what the classic software has too, but additionally much more. We talked about the robustness issues, the explainable AI, and how we can measure the performance or functionality, or what I can say, we're doing it since 2.5 years. So everybody, welcome to the club. And yeah, the decision rules and the reason for it, the decision rules of learning system can't be understood by solely looking at the source code. It's more a model issue. And no human being can realize that, so what we need is software to measure AI. And the next thing is the data-driven programming includes high iterations, but the quality on the data is very important too for AI quality. Here you see a small process. There's a classic software, it's going forward, but here you have a lot of loops in AI development. However, if you understand that, then you will understand that the problems came in the operation phase. And that's why the effort to solve it, it's much higher, or to measure it, it's much higher as compared to the classic software. What we're doing in the NeuroCat, we bring the stuff, the validation, the verification problems earlier in the stage to save costs for our clients. So the challenge in the end is validate verification, debugging, optimization, controlling, monitoring, confirmation. In the end of this day, the insurances has a lot of issues. So what we're doing is, and thank you for this opportunity, Joachim, that is our a quick preview from our first standard. So you will see we're seeing it in a life cycle approach. So, and you see the 3 pillars on the left side, the functionality, the robustness and comprehensibility, and then in the circle, the ethical issues and legal aspects. However, what we're doing is to measure the models, to measure and debug data, the model of course too, and take a look to the environment. So we offer services. We launched it very successfully last year. What we're doing is a lot of research. In this robustness, I can say, yeah, Google and all the big companies has maybe 3, 4, 30, 40 attacks. What we have here in the small NeuroCats are 40,000 attacks. We have a lot of other formal measures developed or methods developed, which we will publish this year with big companies and names on scientific papers. We do in consulting, yeah, and usually a client is coming to us, bring us his fancy AI algorithms, and what we are doing is to try to destroy it. We analyze the stuff, and for debugging and improvement, there's a good money what we can make. So yes, and now I want to leave some short words to our aid kit. We will launch this year. It will handle all the AI issues for comprehensibility, explainable AI and so on, the robustness issues and the functionality stuff. We can only measure it, so we can debug it and improve it automatically, and that's what the AI scene needs. Here is a quick mock-up, and if you take a look to the middle of the pictures, we just hacked this AI, and it's at the time it's really a safety issue for the automotive industry. In the middle upper picture, you will see there's a street and there are the people. And now if you take down your eyes to the other picture in the middle, you see the people became in the color to the streets. So I think it could be very dangerous. Yeah, and next year, excuse me, TÜV Süd, we will launch our Deep Trust AI seal of approval. Yes, and all what we are doing together, of course, with the TÜV Süd, we define quality criteria, develop a risk management, take a look to the ethical and legal aspects, and that with all stakeholders together. Yeah, that's our contacts. In Germany, we say Miao at NeuroCat. Maybe the English version is Mio at NeuroCat. So if you have any wishes, feel free to contact us. We would be very happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.